What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the 85mm 1.8 from Sony and why this is my favourite all-time street photography lens so far. Let's jump in. Before we jump in, do me a favour, go down there and smash that like button. Those 3 seconds of your time it will take for you to hit the like button have such an impact on the channel, you have no idea. So please do me a favour, go do that. Also, if you come back and you find yourself watching these videos and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Join the community. So, 85mm 1.8 from Sony. Now, this is not the newest, the fanciest, the best lens on the market, the best 85mm lens on the market, anything like that. This is just the one I have, and this is the one I love. Okay, this is the first lens I bought for my Sony after I bought the camera. It came with a 28 to 70mm, but I quickly got this one. In fact, I got this one at the exact same time. I bought it with the camera because I knew I wanted a fixed prime lens and I knew I wanted it a bit more for portraits. So I got an 85mm. Up until getting this, my favourite street photography lenses were 35mm and 50mm. They were just my personal preference. I really enjoyed them, but I wanted more compression in my images, and that's something we're going to talk about later on in this video. So I'm not telling you the price list to like flex the fact that I've spent money on a lens or anything like that. Just in case you're interested, currently on Jessops you can pick this lens up for £540. It is not the most expensive lens in the world. It's not the cheapest lens in the world, but it's for the quality you get out of this lens, I think it's fantastic. Now, I haven't used the Sigma 85mm or the Sony 1.4 G Master or anything like that, and they are obviously going to be better quality and better build when you pixel peep and when you really go into the nitty gritty of it, but I'm not about that. I'm not here for that. This gets the job done more than what I need. I think it's fantastic. It's fantastic for portraits, and so this is what I use and this is what I'm loving. So starting off with the weight and size, it is quite small. As you can see there, I can hold it in this hand quite comfortably. It's pretty light and it's got a very sturdy construction to it. It does not feel like this lens is going to fall apart on me or crumble or melt away in the rain. Like, it feels solid, but it's not heavy and it's a really good size. I love to travel, I love to pack lights. My 2021 camera bag video begs to differ about packing light, but I like to try and pack as light as I can. I don't like to carry around too bulky of things. So this lens is absolutely perfect in that respect because it's a really nice size. It doesn't look obnoxious on the front of my camera, and it doesn't weigh me down ridiculous amounts. In regards to the image quality, look at that bitter glass. This is a sexy lens. Like, oh, look at that. Look at it. It just looks good. And the images out of it look good. I think it's got 9 aperture blades in this lens. The bokeh, however you want to say it, the bokeh out of this lens just looks so good, in my opinion. And especially in the background of portraits, when you stop it down to 1.8, it just looks fantastic. I love it. So yeah, as I just said, it stops down to 1.8, which is fantastic for portraits. If you want to go and spend an extra £1,000, you can get the 1.4, and obviously you can stop it down that bit further and it will look even better. And that's also a G Master lens, so it's going to look all around better. But as I say, I'm not here about pixel peeping. This looks fantastic in my opinion, and I really like it. And especially paired with the A7iii, it just looks so good. Also, on the subject of portraits, I really like the compression look in my images, and you get that with higher focal lengths. So this is an 85mm, so if you're not familiar with it, compression in images is the higher focal length you use, so the higher the number is, the more it compresses the background to your subject. Looks like your background is closer to your subject than a lower focal length image. I'll go more in depth on this in another video in the future, but because it's bringing the background closer to your subject, it creates a clearer separation between your subject and your background, because you haven't got all the gap between it. Your subject doesn't really get lost in all the area behind it. It just creates like a canvas behind for you to work on, and then if you're stopping it down to like 1.8 to 2.8, it blurs the background enough that you just clearly separate your subject, and it looks great in portraits. That combined with the big ass bit of glass in the front of this and the fact that it just looks crispy and sharp, fantastic for portraits in my opinion. This is my go-to portrait lens. I love it. So my old preference for focal lengths in street photography was 35 to 50mm. I really liked that look, but as I developed as a photographer, I found myself leaning more towards higher focal lengths because, as I say, I really like the compression look. I really like that look in my images. That's also why I say it's my favorite street photography lens so far, is because that may well change in the future. I'm looking at getting a telephoto like 70 to 200 or the Tamron 70 to 180. So that may well become my favorite street photography lens because of the focal length and the sun just disappeared. It just got really dark in here. Like really dark in here. Can you come back out? What was I saying? So in the future, my favorite street photography lens may well change, especially if I do go down that route of telephoto. That may well become my favorite, but at the moment, this is my favorite. I also still just look how teeny this is. It's so small. It doesn't look obnoxious on the front of your camera either. Like if you have a big ass zoom telephoto lens, everyone, even non-photographers, know that's a zoom lens, and if you point it towards them, they're going to be like, "You're taking a photo of me." Whereas this, it's just a lot more subtle. It's a lot more compact, and I really value that in street photography. I don't want to interfere with anyone. I don't want to get in or ruin anyone's day by taking a photo of them. I don't want even like them to even, I'd rather they didn't even notice me taking a photo of them, because then it's a proper candid street photography image that I really like, and that's what I really look for, and it means I haven't got to have those awkward interactions if someone's like, "Why the hell are you taking a photo of me?" It just avoids all that. And that actually takes me into my last point, is you don't have to get in people's faces with this lens. If you have like my 17 to 28mm to really get your subject in your image and be like a standard prominent point in your image, you got to be close to them. You got to be right up in their face, and they're going to know you're taking a photo. With this one, you can kind of take a step back. As I say, you can get more candid street photography images. People don't really know what's going on. It's people in their day-to-day life, and that's what, in my photography, I would consider myself a documentary photographer, and I really like that. People not even knowing the photos being taken, just getting on with it, and that's just the style I go for. So that's why this is perfect. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to make a quick little video just talking about why I absolutely love the 85mm 1.8 and why this is my favorite street photography lens. I'd love to know what your favorite street photography lens is. Drop a comment down below and let me know. Let's start a conversation about it. But yeah, or even hit me up on Instagram. Let me know over there what your favorite street photography lens is. You'll even notice a lot, like probably the majority of my images you'll see on my Instagram that are street photography, because I flick between street and landscapes, are shot on this lens. So that's how much I love it. I'm not just chatting rubbish to try and talk about lens. So yeah, I didn't think you would think I'm gonna stop talking. If you like the video, drop a thumbs up down below. It massively helps me out. Subscribe if you aren't already. Join the community. All the other stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to take the shot. Peace.